Well, I play Mrs. Danvers, the housekeeper. Mrs. Danvers is the housekeeper, and she takes care of the house and has been doing so since Rebecca married Maxim de Winter, and she feels quite possessive about the house, about the memory of Rebecca, and she's doing her very best to intimidate Daphne. I think she's automatically resentful of the person who's come to replace her beloved Rebecca, who, after all, she's known since Rebecca was a child, and I think identifies very, very strongly with Rebecca. There may even be some sort of passion there that is not unrequited, but probably encouraged by Rebecca. I think Rebecca must have encouraged Mrs. Danvers in her ideas of grandeur and vice versa. There's an idea that she might have scolded her a little while as a child, as a teenager when she was getting a bit wild. She treats Mrs. de Winter, the second Mrs. de Winter, with courtesy, but it's sort of tinged with scorn, I think. It's less about Mrs. Danvers' obsession with her feelings towards Mrs. de Winter are less about the house and more about Rebecca. The terrible secret for Mrs. Danvers is that she didn't know everything about Rebecca, that Rebecca had secrets from her, which is devastating to Mrs. Danvers. And actually, I feel quite sorry for her at that point. Mrs. Danvers makes me think of some sort of supercharged first-class air hostess. Visually, I can see it's extraordinary shots, extraordinary lighting, extraordinary angles. So I think it's going to be quite frightening. The good thing about shooting on location is it is helpful to have the stone, old stones and crashing waves. Yes, that helps. But I'm not averse to a bit of papier-mâché either. Armie Hammer is extraordinary because he's sort of the matinee idol. He's extraordinary. He looks so perfect for this. And his sort of stride is wonderful. And no, he's doing an amazing job. The physical embodiment of Maxim is amazing. So working with Julian is always very, very easy for me. It's really, really, he just understands. He understands my shape. He understands what I like to wear and what reads on this body. The hair was more complicated to do because the look, the design, the fashion of the time, of the look, the physical, the suit that we were trying to get really was crying out for a hairdo that had already been used to great effect by Judith Anderson. Both Julian and I and Ivana and Charlotte all thought that the idea was to be absolutely impeccable and not have a hair out of place, and that every day she would apply her mask. The days of the ball it was just so beautiful to look at. And then we did that was one day. There were actually quite a lot of days where you come away thinking, oh, I'm really excited. Ben is very hands-off as far as acting is concerned. And I feel that the way his composition of the framing and the lighting and the sets, I think they're going to be completely blown over by the visuals and by Armie and Lily's beauty and by a very mysterious end.